Welcome back to Who Woke the Bear? And today's bear is the favorite target of the woke mob. Yes, you guessed it right. It's Mr. President Donald Trump.
Everything woke turns to shit, okay? It's true. It's true. Look at what's happening.
When you are always unfiltered about your opinions, people tend to feel attacked, even though it's not specifically about them. And if you have the highest seat in the country, you tend to feel alienated or targeted even more with raw words. Donald Trump has an astounding record for controversial statements. However, these have proved popular amongst the majority of the population who have voted him in again as the 47th President of the United States of America. Those voters believe Donald Trump knows how to tackle the woke mob and, quote, make America great again. In this video, we're going to recap on some of Donald Trump's moments against the woke culture and more. But before we dive deeper, a real quick ask that if you are new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, please quickly hit that subscribe button now. Thank you. So like this clip we played before.
Everything woke turns to shit, okay? It's true. It's true. Look at what's happening.
I would say that's the biggest mic drop moment of the presidential race. Talking about the presidential race, you won't believe how the woke mob reacted to Trump's win.
I'm sorry! No! Why?
Look, it's fair to say she's not handling it well.
Well, you can say that again. I mean, if anyone had been outside her car, they would have been scared for their life. A person recording herself in a vehicle acting hysterical? What could go wrong? But back to Trump. It's not just the public targeting him. We have grown adults with platforms or TV shows full of significant numbers of followers that can be used to change the world. Here's a moment where Donald Trump is pushed in the proverbial sense to answer a question on such a show.
Why you held on to those documents when you knew the federal government was seeking them and then had given you a subpoena to return them?
Are you ready? Are you ready? Can I talk?
Yeah, what's
you
the
mind?
answer?
Do you mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to, you're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
Can you answer why you held on to the documents?
I was negotiating and we were talking to...
This woman was there to mediate between Trump and the audience, and it looks like she didn't get the instructions, since she clearly thinks she's in a debate. Don't you just miss the time when introductions were all about, "Hi, my name is this, and how are you today?" Because now it's all about, "My pronouns are this and that." But look how Donald Trump gave it back when asked a question about his pronouns.
What are your pronouns?
I don't want pronouns. I don't want pronouns.
So you're fluid? What is that?
Nobody even knows what that means. Ask her to describe exactly what that means.
Well, what is that? Why are people
Nobody
doing
knows.
That? Well, what is that?
Because they're going crazy, all right? We have to bring our country back to sanity. So I say this about the Republican Party. It's a party now based on common sense, okay? We're conservative, I don't know. Conservative, we're everything. But we're based on common sense. We want borders, we want low taxes, we want good education, we want to be able to buy a house, we want the American dream for our children. I want the American dream. I want my children to say, man, this is great. You don't even hear about the American dream anymore. You heard about it 4 years ago, but you don't hear about it anymore. I want the American dream as a goal for our children. They want to do something. You don't hear that anymore with all of this nonsense going on. We are a party based on common sense.
And then, after all this fully set narrative, Trump is the one who is being labeled as weird. To be fair, all the things he mentioned are common sense things that every leader of every country aims for. So why does Donald Trump feel so attacked by the opposition?
A Time magazine story over the weekend says that they're going to use the phrase "just plain weird" as their new label for Trump. I thought that was Austin's motto, but just plain weird.
Look, what they do is they take sound bites. Russia, Russia, Russia. He's a paid associate of Putin. These people are crazy, okay? Do you know, that lasted 2.5 years, total exoneration. They went through millions of phone calls. They didn't have one call to Russia. The whole thing was a con job. And everything about them. Look at Biden. He said he'll challenge me to golf. I'm a very good golfer. He's a terrible golfer. This guy can't hit a ball 30 yards. You saw those men downstairs, those policemen. They're screaming at me, hit a shot, hit
Big
a shot.
police, event
and I hit
here.
a nice 7-iron right next to the pin. Biden wouldn't do that. He couldn't hit the ball 15 yards.
I mean, what is this? Just plain weird?
Listen,
American families?
the
are weird.
whole thing is a con job. Just plain weird. You know who's plain weird? She's plain weird. She's a weird person. Look at her past. Look at what she does. And look at what she used to say about herself, and I won't get into it, what she used to say and who she was compared to what she said starting at about 2016. She became a totally different person, only for political reasons.
Well, one thing for sure he knows is how to take a stand for himself. Even if the words don't always come out right, it appears Donald Trump stands firm and unafraid even more so than before. And speaking about before, Trump truly knows what it's like to be under scrutiny all the time, because if there's anyone who is hated the most by the woke mob, it's him. And here's what his supporters think. Under Trump's presidency, America might go back to the, quote, good old ways and finally be free from this woke narrative.
My question was, when you become president again, what would the first thing you'll do to fix our current school system and even our current military that's only focusing on teaching woke gender ideology over learning the basics of life and history and protecting us?
So a good question. Some of it partially answered, but not all. With the military, we're ending woke immediately. You know, I ended woke totally. And then they, in their first week, they reestablished it. It's crazy. They pay instructors hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. It literally, literally, they want our military to be woke. And it's just not going to happen. You read in Hawaii where they had the horrible fire where they have people going there. And before they bring them on board, they have to study woke for a week. Can you believe this? In other words, everyone's wanting to get back to their home, finding the bodies. It was such a tragedy. You don't read about it too much anymore, but hell is going on over there. And they want to give them classes in essentially wokeness. Can you believe? So, you know, you've seen it. Well, we'll end that very quickly. We will, with the school, I think the schools are very important. We're going to bring our education department back. Now, if you look at our education, we pay more per pupil than any country in the world by 3 times. And yet we're at the bottom of the list. We have a bad, very bad. If a place like Iowa, as an example, if you could run your own and we give you just a percentage of the money, because you wouldn't need nearly the money that they waste in Washington. Number one, you love your students. You want your students. You know your students. The parents will be involved. That's the other thing. We're going to let the parents, because some of these school boards have become tyrannical. They've been horrible. But we're going to bring that back, and that's going to answer your question, because I think that we can have one of the best school systems in the world. Right now we have one of the worst. They basically rate 40 countries, and we're always at close to the bottom of the list, sometimes the bottom of the list, and spending more money than anybody else. So we're going to take care of all of your needs very quickly, and I think it's going to happen very quickly. And one of the things we're doing, closing the border day one and starting drilling for oil. Okay?
It's crystal clear Donald Trump is leading the attack against the woke agenda. We cannot talk about the woke narrative and not mention the self-identification problem. Identifying yourself with whatever pronouns you want is one thing, but wanting others to live by your standards is quite outrageous. Even many left-wing people believe so, including the heated debate around biological men wanting to be treated like women and are trying to be part of women's sports teams. It just doesn't seem necessary or fair. Here's what Donald Trump had to say on the matter.
And by the way, we should not allow men to play in women's sports. So crazy. See, it just shows you what these political geniuses, I have all these consultants, all these great... Sir, don't say that. It's very controversial. That's not written down anywhere. I just said, this might be a good time. So, they said, don't do it. And that gets the biggest hand of everything. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy.
No mix of words. He just thinks it's crazy. But did you notice how he said that he was being warned about speaking of this? So, the woke mob can quite literally say anything they want, but others cannot speak their views and for what they believe is right because it's controversial? Anyway, more from Trump on transgender athletes.
And you know the guy, he was named Female Athlete of the Year. Did you know that? It's true. He was just named female. We're not dealing with things that are so easy here, Newt. This is a difficult, crazy world. You'd almost say, is the world going crazy? Because 99% of the things I'm saying are common sense.
Common sense, yet people can't seem to comprehend this. After years of fighting for women's rights, the same feminists are now ruining things for women. And for what? Men who want people to see them as women or vice versa? But one thing for sure, the next 4 years will be quite interesting and things will get very fired up under President Donald Trump. Let's hope we all remain safe, civil, and open to discussion, which allows for common sense and helps individuals and families live, learn, and grow with dignity. And that's all for today's video. Subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for future videos. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Can you guess who our next bear might be? Let us know in the comments below. See you in the next video!